Okay. We're on. And what I would like to have is Anastasia read example 1 for us, please. Okay. So what we're going to do first is we need to figure out the total weight between the hiker's weight and the backpack weight. Does anybody have an idea how we're going to find the total weight? Emma, you're going to add these together. Now, before we add these together, I'm going to use the phrase I've been using for like the past month. Stop being robots. Because I already know what's going on. We got people typing in 152.4 plus 14.8. Oh, the answer is 167.2. It's the wrong answer. Oh, okay then, Mr. Weeks, I got it. 152.4 plus 14.8 is 166.12. No, that's wrong too. When I say we have to stop being robots, we can't just all of a sudden just go ahead and add these two numbers together, because that's what Emma told us to do. That's what our 6th grade teachers told us to do, our 5th grade teachers. You have to stop, look, read. What does that say? What does that say? Uh-oh. Does this say ounces? Then we cannot have any ounces over here. We need to convert this 4 ounces to pounds. Does anybody know how many ounces are in a pound? Cheyenne? 16. So this is technically 4/16, and this is technically 8/16. So if I was going to add these two numbers together, I would do 152 and 1/4. The 1/4 came by me reducing the 4/16 plus 14 and 1/2. I got the 1/2 from reducing the 8/16. Find a common denominator. Why did I choose 8? Could I use 8? But is it the least common? No, it's not. Why would you do that? That's silly. I could use 8 because that's what most people do. And I did this on purpose. They do 4 times 2 and they get 8. And you can use that, but in the end, you're going to have to reduce. So what I would like to see is you just use the 4. If you want to use 8, go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you. So when we add the fractions together, 2 plus 1 is 3. Then we can add the whole numbers together. 4 plus 2, 5 plus 1, 1 plus nothing. So at this time, I would like you and your group, and I'm going to keep the camera rolling, so there's just going to be a lot of noise right now, but I would like the groups to see if you can find the total weight without my help. Go ahead. Great job. Every group got it right. Now, a couple different scenarios we have. I know table 1 over there, they left their fraction as 10/16 and 4/16, which that's fine. I reduced mine just so I didn't have to reduce at the end. It's fine though. You guys are fine. All right, now comes the tricky part. Now, since the beginning of September, I shared with you guys that the first measured value or the first measured quantity in a table is called the x. And then the second measured quantity is always labeled with a y. It's always like that. It'll never be different. It's always going to be x and then y. In order to figure out the backpack's weight, we need to use the equation. And there's only one way to find the equation, and that's to find the constant of proportionality. So what I'm going to show you now is how to find the constant of proportionality. We could use either one of these two. We can use the 152 and the 14, or we can use the 107 and the 10. You want to use the 107 and the 10? Why? Yeah, they're smaller numbers. That's the one I would have chose as well. So, we know that the constant of proportionality is y over x. Our y value is 10 1/4 pounds. And our x value is 107 5/8. Now what we need to do is convert both of these into improper fractions. 4 times 10 plus 1 is 41. Eight times 107 plus 5. 861. Now, in order to get 1 in the denominator, we have to divide the denominator by itself or multiply by the So we multiply the numerator, bless you, by the reciprocal. And you can see right off the bat that 4 goes into 4 once. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So we get 82 divided by 816. Or 61. Sorry. Now, this is very difficult for a lot of you to see. And the only reason why I know this is because I've already done this problem. And when you do your problems at home, they're not going to be this difficult. Okay? Or this rigorous. I can divide both of these by 41. And I get 2 over 21. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Say it. 21. There you go, 21. So our equation that we have to use in completing the rest of this table take the constant of proportionality, the constant, the unit rate, whatever the heck you want to call it, and substitute it in front of H. Now, how did I know to put B in place of Y? Because backpack is in the Y column. How did I know to substitute the H for the X? Because the H is in the X column. Because if you remember, the equation that we first were taught was that one. y equals x. But now that we're more advanced, we're using the letters of the words that are given to us. B for backpack, H for hiker. So this is the equation that we're going to use to answer or to fill in the rest of the table. All right? So let's take a look at this one. We have 129 and 15 ounces. Am I going to take this value and do I substitute it for the B or do I substitute it for the H? Correct. Now that is a big problem. And it's pretty rigorous, okay? So the first thing that we have to do is we have to convert the mixed number into an improper fraction. So we take the denominator, multiply it by the whole number, add the numerator, and we get 2,079. And now I'm going to reduce. We can divide by 2. Is 2,079 divisible by 3? What's 2 plus 0? 2. What's 2 plus 7? What's 9 plus 9? Is 18 divisible by 3? Then so is 2,079. And it's 693. So we get 693 divided by 56. Now, of course, you didn't have to reduce. You still would get the same answer, or the correct answer, if you did not reduce. So if you look, I take the 693 and divide it by 56, and I get 12. 12 is my whole number. The denominator always stays the same. And to figure out what the numerator is, I multiply 56 times 12. And notice I got 672. I take the 672 and I subtract that from the 693. And I get 21. Yes. Now, can I reduce those in any way?
Yes.
Okay. What is the greatest common factor of 21 and 56, Emma? So I can divide this by 7, that by 7, and what you need to write in that spot is 12 3/8 pounds. Well, actually, it's actually 12 pounds. I got to convert this to ounces real quick. Correct. Because this would be times 2 is 6, times 2 is 16. So we get 6 ounces. 12 pounds, 6 ounces. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the 8 pounds, 12 ounces with you. And then you're going to finish the rest for homework. the equation that we're going to use again. Now this time, where am I going to substitute the 8 pounds, 12 ounces? For H or for B? B. For B. Now, where did this 16 come from? 12 ounces out of 16 ounces, because there's 16 ounces in a pound. So what we need to do now is convert this into an improper fraction. Denominator times the whole number plus the numerator. Well, that stunk. Did it again. So we get 140 over 16. And now look what number we have in front of our variable. Our coefficient is a fraction. Therefore, we're going to use the multiplicative inverse. Gosh, that's fun to say. No, it's not. Now you can clearly see here that these 2's cancel out. You can clearly see that the 21's cancel out. So we're left 21. So we're left with H. So I'm going to take my calculator and I'm going to multiply 21 times 140. And I get 2,940. I'm going to multiply 2 times 16 and get 32. Notice this time I didn't reduce. I didn't cross-reduce or anything, and I did that on purpose just to show you that you don't have to. I'm just going to type this into my calculator exactly how it looks. And we get 91. Remember what I said, the denominator always stays the same. So to figure out the numerator, 32 times 91, I just multiplied these two numbers, and I got 2,912. I subtract this from the numerator, and I get 28. And can I reduce to 28 32nds? Yes. And what is the greatest common factor, Shireen? 4. And you get 7/8. So when we go to put this in, we write 91 pounds. And then 7/8 is how many ounces? 14 ounces. Now, for those of you that don't know how we got 14, just look up here. Remember that there's 16 ounces in a pound. So if I multiplied 8 by 2 to get 16, whatever I multiply the denominator by, I have to multiply the numerator by. So we get 14/16. So you're going to finish the rest of this chart. Okay? Well, technically, all you have to do is find these two, and then you just add the two together, which is the adding is pretty easy. The good news is, when you go to do these other problems, excuse me, look at everything's already in cups. Okay? When you go to do this one, everything's in cups. When you go to do this, that's the only one we're doing. So you will not be converting how we were doing in example 1 here from ounces to pounds. There's going to be no converting at home. Okay, so give this a good try. Hopefully you wrote this down and copied it down. Make sure you use the equation. And you can work in your groups until it's time to go. You got about 12 minutes. No, the 2 blank ones at the bottom you do nothing with.